Hello again, everyone. Today is our second meeting, and I hope finally today we will start our habit number 1. But right now, just practically for 5-6 minutes, let's review what we were talking about. This is for our new people who came today, so I will report and I will put all our recordings on our WhatsApp group chat. Please, if you would like join, if you don't like, you always can cancel your membership. And plus, it's free. And if, for example, will be bothering the notification, you can mute group notification and just see we're chatting there, we're discussing some points, we are asking questions. I post homework and I post our group recordings. Please mute your microphones if you don't talk. Please participate. Please ask questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. I made for you this screenshot, and this is on the low ribbon. You will see reaction. And when you click, you will see all this. Please stay on topic and be brief in your comments. It's very important. Guys, it's many of us and we are all intelligent. Here, people all intelligent. We are packed with information, but we are here came for 7 habits, right? So let's stay on the topic. It's nice to see your faces, but of course, it's not a requirement. If you can't, welcome, just be with us and we are happy. We were talking about this situation that if people get outward great, tremendous success, it's not necessarily they're happy. And of course, guys, what to do for people who didn't reach success? They also can be unhappy. So there is many situations, and we will address to all situations in our lives. We were talking about character versus personality ethic. And you probably remember how it's important. I compared this as a person, and this is what we see. So personality ethic is what is visible, and character is ethic is not visible. However, our personality formed by character ethic. And this is integrity, justice, courage, humility, compassion, responsibility. And this is primary greatness. And personality ethic, which is visible, it's secondary greatness. And Mr. Covey is saying that unfortunately, we concentrate on personality ethic, not on character ethic. And I have to say that last time we had a very great discussion, very multidimensional discussion. And as an organizer, I had to mention that we briefly chat about Hitler. And the comment that he got great success, I need to admit that Hitler's principles are in violation of the fundamental principles we are talking about. Let me tell again, Hitler's principles are in violation of the fundamental principles we are talking about. Our principles are natural and universal. Our principles are bringing people not only success, they are bringing also happiness, joy, love, and peace. Hitler principles not even close to the character ethics which we are talking about. So this I mentioned because it should be clear where we are. This is our mission. This is our ethics. Yes, Richard.
Just to add something quickly, it's what I see as far as generally dictators, because I was curious about this subject and how they get people to follow them so intensely that they become leaders and really dictators of a whole country. And so looking at this chart, I can kind of imagine that these particular world dictators that have been throughout history have complete focus on personality ethic and a complete close to zero lack of character ethic. And so that the public image and personality and attitude is what we see mostly in their times. And so there's this Netflix series about how to become a tyrant, and I was so interested in this subject that I wanted to see. And they actually have a playbook on how to become a tyrant, and it's so interesting in how they manipulate the people that are under them and how they seize power and then even go after their rivals and so on. So it just dawned on me looking at this that the way they do things is like a complete lack of any character ethic. Thank you.
Richard, thank you so much. It's a terrific, great example. I actually was concerned a little bit too after that, and I watched a couple of videos too. And yes, I was in horror. So because in order to be a tyrant, in order to be a dictator, you need to kill everyone around you, that people would be afraid of you and keep silence, and they just follow you in fear. So what kind of happiness and joy we can find there? No, this is not our way. Okay, let's move forward. We were talking about paradigm because we will use paradigm all the time. So paradigm is a belief system or value system. And it's very nice how Mr. Covey compared paradigm with a map. He basically said, if we have right map, for example, we want to go from Germany to Poland, we will come to Poland. But if we have a wrong map, somebody made a mistake, we can come to Italy, we can end up in Baltic Sea or North Sea, or we can never come, right? And we can be very diligent, right? We can be very hard working, we can be positive, we can double speed, but what we ended up, we just faster ended up in the wrong place. And how does it relate to paradigm? So if we have wrong belief system, if we have wrong value system, we never ever will be ended up in our destination. And our destination, right relationship, right work. How can we know? Everybody thinks that we are right? Yes, everybody thinks that. So, but Mr. Covey is saying, no, we see the world not as it is, but as we are, or as we conditioned to see it. And we will figure out where is right and where is wrong. And we were talking that there is only two ways of solving the problem. Change the world. It's actually what we are doing. What does mean change the world? It means change your spouse, change your friends, change your boss. They are from the world, but we will start with change yourself. We were talking about loop, and you remember this is the way we are living. What I think I see, what I see I experience, what I experience I think, and the loop is closed. And in order to go away from this loop, what we need to change first, what I think. And insanity is going also to the same, guys, just think. We are doing the same thing all over and all over, but we expecting different results. I ask you to analyze if you have some problems in your life, if you have long problems, not just short one time or two times problems. And how my teacher is saying, be nice to yourself, but be honest. This is the first step. If you are not honest to yourself, with yourself, and creating excuses, you never be able to solve the problem. Just be honest with yourself. This is the first step to solve the problem. And for that, how to change it? We actually need a new, it's Mr. Covey is saying that we need a new level of thinking, because we can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it. We just can't. And Mr. Covey will offer to us a new level of thinking. And guys, this is our brief review. If you have any questions for our meeting number 1, please ask, and we will move to maturity formula. Yes, Stefan.
I was looking at the iceberg diagrams. There's integrity, justice, and a whole bunch of things there. The degree that you do it, you act in accordance with those things determines your success, your happiness.
Yes. You're right. Absolutely. Thank you, Stefan.
Is that what this is? What the 7 Habits is about? And is that
absolutely? Absolutely. And this is the success of this book, because he's going much deeper than personality ethic. And he's saying, I will repeat again, that these principles which we will learn, they are universal, they are natural, they are like gravity, they are unchangeable, because you can use these principles to any area of your life, any area, relationship, work, friendship, health, and we will talk about it. Thank you for beautiful question. Can I move ahead? Is there any other questions? Okay. And finally, this is one of my favorite, the maturity formula. This is his famous graph, and I will just say a couple of words about it. So Mr. Covey is saying that, again, the 7 habits are in harmony with the natural laws of growth. Let's look at this. We each begin life as an infant, right? Totally depend on parents. And then gradually we become more and more independent. So what is dependence? Is a paradigm of you take care of me. Right now, I don't talk about children. Right now, unfortunately, some people, let's me do this. What this is he's saying, that reaching our full physical maturity does not necessarily assure us of our emotional and mental maturity. Do you think why did it happen? Yes, Richard.
This is also one of my favorite subjects, and many people just don't realize that they have a dependence on others, not being independent and self-reliant. And so just realizing the fact that that we haven't matured enough to be independent mentally is a reason why many people don't reach that maturity.
Yes, I agree, totally agree with you. Can you tell why? Why they didn't reach the maturity? It's a natural law. We all depend first, but then we become independent, and actually our goal to be interdependent. And even Mr. Covey mentioned that nature is interdependent. So how we are the top of the nature, the most intelligent living creature on earth, we suddenly become dependent, we remain dependent. Okay, guys, we will highlight this question again. I just will tell in a couple of words. It's actually going very simple. It's when parents or indulge children, so they are doing everything for them, do not give them mature according their age, or they suppress them, they control them very much, and again they don't let the children to mature. Also, it can be environment, very stressful and a very negative environment when actually parents do not take care of their children and the children are abused. So this is everything where is going. And of course, I highlighted just a couple of moments. I'm sure you can add the other moments. Yes, Patrick, and hello and welcome.
Thanks. Well, it goes back to what you said, I think, in the last class or the brief review, right? About it's really about the experience that we have, right? In terms of whether we were, when growing up, meaning like we were treated as an infant regardless of age, right? Treated basically how, and also treated whether we are smart or not smart. So all these things kind of shape what we are relative to reality, right? Because the thing is, you think about, like you said, right? A baby, obviously, it's an empty vessel. So how that baby get filled with things, right? Either they spark that fire in them to become independent and eventually interdependent, or not, right? That's not to say that you can't spark that fire at later in life. You can, right? It just that it's a lot harder, right? So, and I think the aspect of the maturity formula, like you said here, I think a lot of time, people use the heuristics or the shortcut to say like, oh yeah, you're 95 years old, you must be really wise, where in actuality, doesn't mean anything.
Thank you, Patrick, very much. You highlighted very important points and very quality. Thank you. Thank you so much. I thoroughly enjoyed. Let's just a little bit more step on all the levels. So dependence is a paradigm of you take care of me. I blame you for the results. Dependent people need others to get what they want. Independent level is a, Richard, do you want something about the, say, dependence level? Go ahead.
Yeah, as adults, we depend on many different things or people. Like, for example, and the biggest example is how we depend on the government, or how we depend on the person we work for, or how we depend on a family member. And by dependence, meaning that if something goes wrong, as you said, that we tend to blame them for the problem.
I see what you mean, and if I correctly understood you, you are describing the majority of our families and lives. However, it's not exactly the right paradigm we should live. We shouldn't depend from our spouses. We shouldn't depend, even our children, when they after 14, they shouldn't depend from us. And even they depend from us at younger age, we need to give them freedom of expressing their emotions, their thoughts. So we cannot suppress them. They depend from us physically, but they cannot depend on their opinion on us. So also, this is the not right society where we depend on our government. We should co-create. We should aid each other. We should go to interdependent level, interdependent paradigm. And we are actually, guys, we are growing. And life is going better. Just I'm talking about thousands of years. Just if we will go 5,000 years ago, just remember what kind of barbarian quality life was there when people were crucified and the families were bringing children to enjoy, just watch it. It was like a spectacle, like a show. Right now, if somebody will invite me, for example, I will say, are you crazy? So this is how our consciousness is growing. We are getting better, even wars around, but it's take very slow process. Like developed some different forms takes millions of years. So our consciousness is the same. Yes, Patrick.
I have a question. So what are your thoughts on, in terms of, the idea, obviously we want to individually shift from dependence to independent. What about folks that have setbacks, like disability, either mental, emotional, or physical, be it an accident or trauma or whatever? I mean, what is the stand on that?
Yes, thank you, Patrick. But here I can say just pure my opinion that there is nothing perfect in the world. And we just need to accept it as that tragic situation. For example, in spirituality, God or consciousness or any religion, they don't concern about bodies. Bible, religions, philosophy, they're all talking about our emotions or not our spirit. And while spirit are perfect, and even if that spirit embodied in that imperfect body, it's temporary, but it's a little bit different subject, and it's more to spirituality. I just watched the birds, and I was surprised when you look at the birds as a herd. You think they're perfect. They are catching fish, they are eating, they are doing everything perfectly. But I started to watch one bird, and I was surprised how many times that bird missed the fish. I think, come on, girl, you're not perfect. I thought you're catching it right away. No, she was missing. I actually wanted to come and grab that fish for her. so she was clumsy. So there is nothing perfect in the world. Thank you, Patrick. Let's move ahead. So now next level, independence. And independence is the paradigm of I can do it. I am responsible. This is a beautiful paradigm. And according to spiritual statistic, we are almost 80% of people think God is here. And interdependence is a paradigm of we can do it. It's pretty new concept for many. However, we can cooperate. We can create something greater together. So interdependent level, guys, is far more mature, more advanced concept. There is a question. Can a dependent person, when the circumstances change, become independent? And I want to offer you interesting feature. I will divide you in groups. And we have 26 people. Let's do 5 groups in 5 people. Will be enough if I will give you 10 minutes to discuss it. It's basically 2 minutes per person, or you would like 5 minutes to discuss 1 minute per person, because it's not very important question. We have many other things. Let's do 6 minutes, and 1 minute I will give on you. Please decide, all of you who will be in a group, decide who will present the result of your group. So let's try. If you would like, you can make a screenshot or make a photo of this question if you think you won't remember. I don't know who will be in a group. It will go automatically. So let's try. Create 5 groups. Yes. Give like a couple of seconds, and then you will start to talk. It would be reconnecting you. Okay, guys, let's do it. Please accept invitation. You need to accept invitation in order to join the group. Mohammed, can you join the group? Welcome back all.
Hello.
Please, let's start from the group 1. I don't know if you've seen that, if you're group 1 or group 2, I don't know that. Did you see? Wonderful. Let's start. Who's the group 1? Who will present the opinion of group 1?
Kaylin, do you want to present group 1?
Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I think personally that people are able to change, but it depends on their circumstances. They have to want to change.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
I mean, I could dive deeper into that, but I feel like that's just it. You either want to change or you don't. And if you want to, you'll do it.
Yes. Yes. Accepted. Good answer. Group number 2. Who would like
Hi,
to
Lena.
present? Yes.
Hi, Lena. It's Maria.
Hello, Maria.
How are you?
Wonderful. So nice to see you. Maria also was in our previous session.
Yes, I'm here having dinner with my son, so I took a little break to join because I didn't want to miss this one.
Thank you so much. Thank you
You're
so much.
welcome. So I guess we can be group number 2.
So who will
any-
present? You? Go ahead.
I'm not sure. I mean, we were discussing it for the last 5 minutes, and some of us believe that yes, people can change, and I myself is very ambiguous. I find it to be very ambiguous. So I cannot say yes, definitely people can change, because it depends on the personality type. It depends on the work they're putting into it. It depends on the circumstances, and it depends on how committed they are to change. So it's hard for people to change. So the circumstance needs to be drastic for people to make a decision to change. So it is very ambiguous for me. So but the rest of the group, they do believe that people can change. I believe it too, but there's more than that for me to just say yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Maria. Yes. Group number 3. Who will present? Just volunteer, guys. It's not that
Yeah,
very.
I think
Mhm.
our
Go
group,
ahead.
our group,
Daratu? Mhm.
yes,
Nice.
our group also came to the same agreement that people can change if they choose to, because it does take a lot of effort in order to remove self-doubt and be desperate enough to make change and becoming independent.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Group number 4.
Well, I can speak for a little bit for 4. It's we talked about both dependence and independence coexisting, and also the word balance was used, not necessarily change, but in some cases there is dependence, in other cases independence.
Okay. Okay. And group number 5. Is anybody from group number 5?
I honestly don't know which group I was. I think I was 2, but I don't know if the other lady.
Go ahead. Go
Oh,
ahead.
I don't know if I was with Maria. I'm not sure. Anyway.
Oh
but-
yes, you were with Maria.
Okay. All right. So we are done then. Okay. Good.
It's okay. It's okay. You could say.
No, she said it all. Yes, no problem. She did it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So guys, let me thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the conversations. Like, I'm sure I don't see who. Can you mute microphones? Guys, you
Sure.
hear, I hear the noise. Thank you so much. So let me just share what Mr. Covey is saying on this. So he's saying the question again, can a dependent person, when the circumstances change, become independent? And Mr. Covey is saying that the dependence problem is a personal maturity issue that has little to do with circumstances. So she's actually saying that no, or at least very little. It doesn't matter where we put a dependent person. He will be still dependent. But you actually was a lot right when you said that it will depend to a person. So it's not about circumstances. It's about a personal maturity. So thank you so much. And finally, we are going to habit number 1. Let me share again. We were here. And guys, be ready for a little surprise. Not from me, from Mr. Covey. He is starting habit number 1, and habit number 1 is be proactive. He's starting by this. We are not our feelings. We are not our moods. We are not even our thoughts. Just last meeting, we were talking about who we are. We are food, we are actions, or we are thoughts. And we kind of decided that we are thoughts just because thoughts are the first. First, we decide, let's eat better, and we are eating better. First, we decided, let's act, and we are acting. So action and food are following our thoughts. But Mr. Covey is saying that we are not even our thoughts. what is going on? Going on that the previous idioms about food, action, and thoughts are toward human bodies, toward our body mind. And this, what Mr. Covey is saying, it's toward our spirits, actually practically who we really are. Can you imagine? I was reading this book maybe 5 times, and I read it, I remember it, but I didn't pay any attention to it. I think, okay, it sounds nice, it's kind of beautiful words. So I was not at that level to understand the depthness of that, what he's saying. I will tell just in a minute what he is saying, who we are. Let's just look at our world. This is the world we are living. On the low level is minerals. Actually, this is from the word minimum. And the word appeared minerals. Actually, minerals are living creatures as well because they are growing. They are by thousands of years, they are collecting energy and they become my precious stones. But of course, they don't have movements, right? They don't have action, they don't have thoughts because they are minimum. However, they are having food. Guys, they have food, and food it's can be energy, it can be sun, it can be some chemistry reactions. It's their food for them. So food are on the low stage because food are using every world. So let's move to plants. Plants have already more flexibility, right, than minerals. However, plants also don't have action. They are only procreate, they are need food, right, and they are growing. This is the feature of living organisms. Animals already have actions, right? And of course, everything include what the plants and minerals are using. And finally, we are humans. We are not only have actions as animals, we are somehow different. How we are different? Because everything is consciousness. This is minimum consciousness. And this is the highest. Humans are the highest consciousness. So if we are all consciousness, animals have basic feelings, animals have basic thoughts. So how we are different? How humans are different from the rest of the worlds we are living? And Mr. Covey is simply saying so profound thing which I was missing all my years. We are consciousness, or we are awareness. We are awareness which enables us to stand apart from the animal world. This is why we can evaluate and learn from others experiences. This is why we can make and break our habits. Can animals break their habits and learn? No, they can't. And of course, I don't ask, it would be a ridiculous question to ask for plants and minerals. So guys, Covey is going much, much higher, but I'm happy that we figure out at the beginning on the body-mind level. And so I can add from myself, we are not our bodies. We are not our minds. Now, this topic we will talk on more deep on the spiritual meetings if we will have them again. Yes, Jessica.
I was listening to talk about consciousness with animals and humans. And I feel animals have a higher consciousness than humans because they have a direct connection to God. And that's what humans desire most. They don't have, and they know their purpose. Humans sometimes live in ego and they wander their whole life discovering their purpose. What is my purpose in life? And animals know their purpose. And I feel they're also pure. They don't have any evil thoughts from ego, or they're always actually here to help humanity. So I feel, because of that, I feel they have a higher consciousness.
Thank you, Jessica. Go ahead.
I don't know what your feelings are in that, but that's what I'm getting. Every time I ask that question, or anybody said something about humans being a higher evolution, I feel animals are way beyond, like, for example, their senses, they're so in tune. They know things before humans know. They're have a higher sensory perceptions in regards to their hearing, their seeing, everything. I have a dog. She knows when things are coming and before I do. So she's like, sometimes she's like my guide. So that's, I kind of beg to differ in regards to when people say humans have higher consciousness.
Thank you,
That's-
Jessica. What,
You're welcome.
Patrick, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I think, I partly agree with Jessica, but I also substantially have a different view on consciousness, the difference between, in terms of consciousness between animal, plants, mineral, and humans, right? What I mean by that is we have to define what consciousness is or awareness is, right? So let's put this let's pretend, right? Let's do a different perspective. Suppose animal runs the world, right? Do you think, does anybody think that, they would have created Zoom, right? Or the internet or anything else, right? Granted, right? One can counteract me and say like, yeah, but they wouldn't create the nuclear bomb or any type of biological one. Yes, that's true. That's where the idea of consciousness, ethics, and things like that fall into play, where animals, plants, they have certain instincts, right? For example, one could say that, well, plant grows because they know where the sun is. It's built into them, right? Evolutionary wise. Same thing with animals, right? They have certain instincts. They like Jessica said, right? There are certain senses that the animals are substantially stronger than human, right? But just like human has some stronger reasoning power, right, than animal, plants, and minerals. And I think so therefore I think we need to define what those things are before we can make the comparison, because consciousness, awareness are like what I call suitcase words, right? You can stuff anything in them. So we all have to from the get-go define what they are, and then talk about it from the animal perspective, plant perspective, human perspective. And now there's talk about like superhumans, right? Because of SpaceX and things like that. There are other beings out there that might even have greater consciousness. We don't know, right? But that's the speculation. But anyway, that's all I got.
Guys, it's so fantastic. You touch the topic which I can talk hours and hours.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jessica. This is the topic a little bit out of our 7 habits, and I really want to continue. Let me just say just a couple of words, and of course I can talk endlessly about it. And this is again my perspective. Guys, if animals would have higher consciousness, they would rule the world. Why animals? How Patrick said that animals are ruled by instincts. And if they higher in hearing or smelling, it's belong to body. It's body function. We are awareness, and awareness is much higher than consciousness. What is consciousness? Consciousness is everything what we see. Actually, I call consciousness as God. This is why God cannot come to us, because we are God. Animals are part of God. Plants are part of God. Minerals are part of God. So everything, consciousness is God. Let's think about our body. For example, my body is a God. I am a God, for example. And every my cell is a piece of me, right? So if we imagine consciousness is the whole universe, and everything is a part of God. For example, we can be a brain of God. Animals can be feet of God. Plants can be God's hair. So we are all important. This is what Jessica, I would like to and would love to agree with you, that we are all important. One spiritual teacher said that the consciousness of not Buddha, Krishna, the consciousness of Krishna and the consciousness of donkey is the same. It's only the density is different. Understand? It's not insult. It means we are all the same. Only the density of our consciousness is different. And just a simple example, who is ruling the world? That creature or that species or that living creatures have higher consciousness, and the animals cannot rule the world because they are living just their instinct, and they didn't come here to save the world or help the world. They are unaware of what they are exist. So simply animals do not aware of their existence. We are aware, and exactly with this awareness is separate us from the other words. Jessica, I love your comments. Please let's go forward because it's a little bit out of our topic. Thank you so much. So let's move ahead, guys. Let's look at series of determinism. Very, very important topic. And let's see what is staying on the way of our growth. Genetic determinism is basically says your grandparents did it to you. That is why you have such a temper. Your grandparents had short temper, and it's now in your DNA, right? And just going through generation to generation, you just inherit it. And in addition, you're Irish, and it's the nature of Irish people. There is psychic determinism. It basically says your parents did it to you. Your upbringing, your childhood experience essentially laid out your personal tendency, and now it's your character structure. That's why you're afraid, for example, go in front of a group. It's just the way your parents brought you up. There is environmental determinism. Basically said your boss is doing it to you or to your spouse. Or, for example, nature. Weather is good, the weather is good, you are happy. The weather is bad, you are unhappy. Or, for example, it can be national policy, economic situations. So, guys, I don't want to offend anyone, but we were talking last time, how is about if we will add here fetus determinism? It's my mom was messing around. My mom wasn't careful about me. So it's while I was in fetus condition, everything created, and now I cannot change anything. How is about previous life determinism? It was a very bad situation in my previous life. Now I cannot do anything. So while it exists, what you said, it's very valuable points. Yes, it exists and it's brings some problems, but it's not, we don't need to depend from it. We don't need to say, no, I cannot do anything. Go fix if you believe in it, it's fine, but don't depend from it. So this is what Mr. Covey is saying. Definitely we can have the difficult childhood, right? Definitely we can have the difficult DNA, not difficult, some messed up DNA. Yes, but we don't need to depend on it. And he's saying as a result, in most cases, the person does not act. and we live like robots. It seems to us that we are acting, but we are only reacting to circumstances, to the environment, to some fools who tells us something. There's nothing easier than to make us mad. As soon as someone tells stupid thing, and for a week, if not forever, our lives are ruined. Just think for a minute. It sounds ridiculous, but I'm sure that, including me, we can remember somebody offended us 5 years ago, 10 years ago, especially people who were close to us. And do you remember this? We studied in our school that it's Pavlov's dog. He had experience, he was feeding the dog and ringing the bell, and then for some period of time, and then he's just ring the bell and the dog salivate. So what does it mean? It's a stimulus reaction. It's what we are doing. Somebody said to me, good, I'm happy. Somebody said to me bad, that I'm bad, I'm unhappy. Lena good, Lena bad. Lena good, Lena bad. And I'm smiling or I'm upset. How I'm different than from this Pavlov's dog? How I'm different from this guy who's manipulated? Because we are humans, we are not dogs. Yes, Sean, I will ask you just in a minute. So we are talking, and this is Mr. Covey talking about serious problem with our reactive language, is that it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Please think for a minute about it, and I want to ask Sean. Yes, Sean, please, can you tell what you wanted?
Well, maybe I thought you were kind of in the middle of asking a question about the dog. What makes us different? I guess nothing, because we were both conditioned. Is that what you're trying to go to? Like Pavlov's dog was conditioned to salivate when he heard the bell, versus sometimes we're conditioned to either take it or not take it. You know, that's why you're a puppet, because maybe you were pushed around as a kid, so you can't raised not to talk back. So now here you are, your boss is taking advantage of you. Yeah. Maybe is that where you were going with that?
Yes. When I was that guy who were like a doll pulling the strings, and that it's called classical conditioning. We are conditioned by society. We are conditioned by our parents. We are conditioned. However, we have the power to change. We cannot blame everything and everyone around us. We are, how long we are blaming? We are on dependent level. As soon we are taking responsibility, just responsibility. As soon we are taking responsibility for our actions and for our thoughts at first, we are on independent level. Thank you, Sean. So what do you, guys, I have an offer to you. I have 2 or 3 quotes. Would you like to go to breaking rooms again, or you would like to continue here and it's enough for today, breaking rooms? Please let me know your opinion. We have
I like going to break rooms.
Okay. I think it's fun. I would like to go instead of just to listen. You can go, guys. Can you make a photo or screenshot? I will offer you 3 quotes, and you will choose what you want to discuss. And please remember again to assign a person who will present your opinion. So this is quote number 1. This is quote number 2. It's not what happens to us, but our response to what happens to us that hurts us. Very deep. Beautiful quote. And Eleanor Roosevelt said, no one can hurt you without your consent. Okay, so choose any quote which you would like, and I will assign you. Let's do 4 groups, 5 people. Oh, actually, it's already assigned. I guess you will go again. Would you like to go to again the same group?
No.
Okay. Yes, Jessica.
What was the first quote? I didn't take a picture of that.
Check. Okay. Check, 1 moment.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm going. Okay, accept, guys, and you will be in the groups. And go for 10 minutes. Jessica.
Lena, are you assigning groups? Because I don't see any.
Oh yes, I will assign you. What group do you need?
I don't know.
Number.
Choose for me. Choose a. I don't know how you said. How many groups? 5. There's 5 or 4.
Okay, I assign you.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. Mohammed, would you like to join the group? Kathleen? Tracy, do you want to join a group?
Yeah, because I was there by myself. I
Really?
left. Yeah, nobody was in my group.
Oh, yes. Oh, it's was previous group. Okay, next time I will know. What the attack, Tracy? Yes, Tracy, I see you. Oh. Move to, let's go to room 3. Okay, accept please. Do you see?
No.
I assign you. So the next time I will know that I need to recreate. Okay, start to join with me.
Okay. I liked the second quote.
Okay.
I took a shot. Let me look at it again.
What I see, Tracy, you didn't join, but it's okay.
Yeah, I was in break room 5 and someone named Sunita was there with me. And then I said something to Sunita and no answer. I don't know.
Anu, try right now. Do you see join, accept?
No.
Okay, let's talk together.
Okay. So which quote are we talking?
What you like? I like all of them.
Yeah, well, the one I looked at that sparked the interest was number 2. It's not what happens to us, but our response to what happens to us that hurts us.
I like it too. So what are your thoughts?
So my thoughts is, yes, I find a lot of times when, whether it's something good or something bad happens, it's really, I need to practice more how I respond to it, especially when it's something bad. And I find that most of the times I seem to respond the same way repeatedly. And I want to get better at that.
Absolutely.
Because then afterwards, when everything turns out okay, then I'm beating myself up because I'm like, see, look, you did it again.
Yeah,
So,
it's not only you, it's what we all doing, just till some degree. For example, I have my weak and strong parts of my character, and you are as well. For example, I can be explosive, but I don't have fear. And the other person can have a lot of fear, but be very soft and nice in conversation. So, and this is, we need to figure out and work on it to improve our weaknesses. And of course, Mr. Covey is actually saying that, of course, there is some situation which can actually hurt us. But he said, if we are strong, we can stay it. We can. We don't need to accept everything personally, and we need to work on what is it, whatever. So he's saying that we don't need to depend from it. Doesn't matter what happened. I know that I'm strong. I know that I'm good. I know that I can handle it. So this is, and if I will say I cannot handle it, that it would be completely different action will go after that. After my decision that I cannot handle. So I actually, this is one of my favorite too. I like it.
yeah, I like it because I'm learning a lot in my life that I find that I like to control a lot of things I'm controlling. And I'm starting to realize that I can't, there's certain things I cannot control. And when I come across something that I know I can't control, I wish that I would have a better reaction to it. Because I waste so much time getting worked up about it. And then whatever the outcome is, that's whatever the outcome, and I have no control over it.
Yes, I'll tell you more on my spiritual classes. I learned, and it was surprising to me, that it seems to us that controlling it's kind of a strong quality of character. However, it's based on fear. Why we control? Because we are afraid that what we know, what we used to have, it can or disappear or ruin or no, whatever, and we are afraid. So you are right that we need to work on it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tracy. I enjoyed our conversation.
Thank you. Is the time up yet?
Yes, it's 2 seconds.
Okay.
Sister PJ, we were in the middle of a conversation. I'm not sure if this will come up while we talk together, but duly noted, duly noted. Thank you for your commentary.
Okay, guys, who would like to start?
I'll start. I'm on.
Yes, please.
It was really interesting because every participant had a different viewpoint, a little different take on it. And one participant was, what I hope I interpreted correctly, was saying that we are, there's power in extenuating circumstances that can affect our consent. For example, you know, if it's a horrible day outside, he went back to that example. Are you really going to say it's, I feel great? And then another participant, Mohammed, was really took it very literally and all about informed consent from a medical point of view. Really the total formalistic definition of consent. And then there was a little bit of a lively discussion between him and another member about whether if you sign consent forms for a medical procedure and you didn't read all the lines, are you really giving informed consent? So there was really a formalistic take on some of the group members. I didn't get a chance to share, but what I was going to add was that I believe consent can be conscious or subconscious. So there's different levels of consent. But I'm like Eleanor Roosevelt, because that was the quote we decided on. And I believe in self-empowerment, that I believe that no one can hurt us unless you without your consent, whether that's conscious or subconscious. And I guess the question is whether you formally signed off on consent, or is that really true consent? So that's those were some of the issues that we covered. So it was a very interesting dialogue between the group. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Beautiful answer. Please, next group, and tell please right away what quote did you discuss? Even if you discuss the same quote, it's okay. We still want to hear your opinion.
If you like, I'll go next. If nobody else popped on. Okay, so our group discussed the second question about it's not what happens to us, but our response to it. And I guess there's many ways to look at it, but we decided, or I guess it came out to be that it's a choice still, that everyone ultimately has a choice. And maybe it's ultimately through life experiences when you finally had enough that you say, hey, wait a minute, I'm not going to give my power to the other person. I choose, you can't change the situation, but you can change how you respond to it. So
beautiful answer. This is in accordance with Mr. Covey, so I don't need to add anything. So thank you so much, Nicole. Any other? Any other, guys?
My group also discussed the second quote.
Okay.
I think Stevens could give a better explanation on it.
So what I saw, as I remember that Dr. Covey talks about Dr. Frankl and his experience in the concentration camp, and Dr. Frankl, when he was being tortured, when he's in these terrible situations, he's being forced labor, and that he's able to. He was able to project himself to other circumstances. He decided that he wasn't going to let his Nazi captors make him feel depressed, make him feel like giving up, that he was going to control control that situation rather than letting the situation control how he felt.
Right.
His personal feelings, feeling depressed, feeling like I want to die, I want to get out of and giving up on life. That he felt he had a purpose. He saw himself teaching about these experiences to other people and how he overcame in those difficult circumstances, and that purpose for life, that life purpose, made him able to endure.
Right. You touch our next slide, Stefan, and I will ask you to read. It's not much, but it's a great example. So let me share. So this is a book by Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. Guys, who didn't read this book? Mr. Covey said this book changed his life. And it changed life not only Mr. Covey, but other millions of people who read this. It's a terrific book. Stefan, can you read this?
Can you see it?
One day, naked and alone in a small room, he began to become aware of what he later called the last of the human freedoms. The freedom his Nazi captors could not take away. They could control his entire environment. They could do what they wanted to his body. But Viktor Frankl himself was self-aware, being a self-aware being who could look as an observer at his very involvement. His basic identity was intact. He could decide within himself how all of this was going to affect him, between what happened to him or the stimulus and his response to it was his freedom or power to choose that response.
Beautiful, thank you. And I didn't say that Viktor Frankl was a psychiatrist and a Jew, and he was imprisoned in the death camp of Nazi Germany, and all his family was killed or were sent to gas oven. And he decided that, so, and see the stimulus and response. So we are completely ready, guys, to come to the heart of being proactive. It's proactivity gap. And you see stimulus and response. You remember how we are manipulated. Somebody said, Lina, something good and I'm happy right away, or I'm unhappy right away, or dog salivates right away. So if we have this second or two, not more, this called freedom to choose. And from this, all our self-awareness, imagination, consciousness, and independent will. And Mr. Covey is calling it freedom. He's saying there is our freedom in this tiny space. It gives us the ability to understand that I can get rid of all of my dependencies. And I don't depend on my dependencies. Mr. Covey is calling it a freedom which giving us to humans, not animals. This is again the difference. Animals do not have that. And guys, I cannot underestimate that. We were learning that last session. However, I want to say how it's important. In my spiritual school, we are studying that as well. There is nothing you can move if you don't have this gap. For example, I have some habit, and remember we were talking about habit. What habits coming? They are coming unconsciously. So whatever somebody said to me, I'm reacting right away. If I will have my consciousness, I need to be aware. Consciousness has everything. I need to be aware. So for that, I need to be in this present moment. If I am in thoughts, I'm gone. I am become thoughts. And now I depend from my thoughts. If my thoughts are happy, I'm happy. If my thoughts are unhappy, I am unhappy. But if I am now, if I am aware, so now and aware, it's the same. So if I'm aware, and can you imagine, you need to be aware every minute in order to use this proactivity gap. But it's not that so dramatic how I want to tell. There is a hope. For example, our brain, it's like muscle, and it's trainable. And we know that, for example, this man, it didn't happen that he go to bed like this with these muscles and he woke up like this. No, we know how hard work is there to bring him in this physical condition to death. But with our mind, with our brain, it's absolutely the same. But look at this, the habit curve. What is the most important? Consistency. Habits take time, over weeks and months. They become automatic and second nature as long as you keep it in. So these our problems that we try once, we try twice, we try 3 times, And then what we are saying, I did everything, it's impossible. And for example, if I want to respond and don't become emotional on something. For example, I am very, let me give you an example from my life. It's fine. I'm very irritated when I hear someone is saying, in my opinion, something stupid. In my opinion, it's actually can be not that. I become irritated right away. Do you see? Right away. So what does it mean? In this emotional moment, I need to be aware. I need to be in now. But when person emotional, it means person is gone with the thought. It means person become that emotion, and it's unconsciously. This is the problem. So I need to be in my emotional moment, be aware, be right now, be here. And it's possible. It's possible. It's very difficult, but possible. Do you know, I made so many things. I were putting alarms all the time to remind me to be in now. I was wearing a long necklace from meditative beads. I am actually right now wearing beads. Do you know what is this? This is my bracelet, and this is my reminders. What I need to do. What I need to do during the day. I'm wearing it everywhere because it's very uncomfortable, but at least it reminds me to be in now and practice my proactivity gap. How difficult is that? It is difficult, but it can be fun. I don't stress out. I'm happy to do that. And if we will come back again to this habit curve, we see that partial habit form in 25 days and full habit form in 50, 60 days. Guys, and it's not like once a week, you remember. Actually, every situation, every minute it's impossible, but at least every 5 minutes. So just totally devote yourself to habit you want to change, and do not try to change a lot of habits right away. One, but what a joy, in 2 months you can actually change it. So, and only in this now you can see that I am the creator of my own reality. Mr. Covey said that every single response forms our personality. And it's inside-out approach. Guys, we have a couple of minutes. Valentina offered a beautiful, beautiful story about Buddha. Let's see how the sage, who is of course well known, how he is handling a proactivity gap, and how he is handling and how he is free of manipulation. Valentina, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Wonderful. Can you turn on your video? And
yes, sure. One day, Buddha was passing through a village when some local people came over and insulted him. They used all the terrible words that they knew. Buddha stood there, listened silently, very attentively, and then said, "Thank you for coming to me, but I'm in a hurry. I have to reach the next village. People will be waiting for me there. I cannot devote more time to you today, but tomorrow, coming back, I will have more time." Those people could not believe their ears. This man had remained utterly unaffected and undistracted. One of them asked, "Have you not heard us? We have been abusing you and you have not even answered." Buddha said, "If you wanted an answer, then you have come too late. You should have come 10 years ago, then I would have answered you. But for these 10 years, I have stopped being manipulated by others. I am no longer a slave. I am my own master. Now it is your freedom to insult me. It is my freedom whether to take it or not. I don't take it. You insult me, true. That's your decision. I am free to take it or not to take it. And I say, I don't take it. What will you do with it? Tell me, if you buy a gift for someone and that person does not take it, to whom does that gift belong? The crowd was surprised to be asked such a strange question, and the man answered, it would belong to me because I bought the gift. Buddha smiled and said, that is correct, and it's exactly the same with your anger. If you become angry with me and I do not get insulted, then the anger falls back on you. You are then the only one who becomes unhappy, not me. All you have done is hurt yourself. If you want to stop hurting yourself, you must get rid of all your anger and become loving instead. When you hate others, you yourself become unhappy. But when you love others, everyone is happy.
Thank you so much, Valentina. Wonderful, wonderful story. Is anybody wants to say something? So guys, we are on time today. Very good. I'm very happy. What I want to ask you, we were going through very serious topics. We were going through maturity levels. Just for this week, please analyze, but again, be kind to yourself and don't afraid. As long as you are afraid to tell inside of yourself, it's hurting. But if you will keep pretending and lying to yourself, you never will be able to fix it. But be kind. Remember that every single person has some problems. It's not only you. So let's heal our problems. I can tell you from the spiritual point of view, for example, dependence, it's ignorance. Independent, it's grace. It's almost where we are. And the interdependence is grace. Independence is passion, and the interdependence is grace. So we are not 100%, for example, independent. We have some dependencies, and I can prove it to you right away. For example, you can have a great business, you can be very strong, you can be very responsible. However, you can depend from the opinion of others. And this is dependency, right? Or for example, you can have some quality of interdependence even. Maybe you can cooperate with a group of people and create something better. Or if you find yourself mostly independent level, you depend from weather, you depend from opinion, you depend from government, you depend from your spouse, so you still, it's okay. It's still okay. We are all beautiful and wonderful. It's just the amount of work we need to do. But as soon as you will figure out where's your dependencies, you will be able to work on them. But as soon as you are as long as you are hiding it, they will dark in your cellars. Bring it to uplight, and it will be healed by itself. So this is what we were talking, and we were talking about the dependencies, right? So look for that as well. Try to figure out, and so it's the reality. They exist. I don't deny everything that was said on the first meeting. They exist, but we don't need to depend from it. We don't need to sit and say I cannot do anything about them. We are awareness, we can. So guys, thank you so much. As always, I tremendously enjoy enjoyed our conversation. If somebody wants to have feedback, and please feedback not about me. I'm here as server. I'm serving you. Feedback about what you learned today, what you would like to bring to the week with you. So you can stay here, and it would be my pleasure to listen your feedback. But officially, I'm closing our meeting, and I look forward to see all of you next Monday at 7 p.m. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Lena.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lena.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Great meeting, kids.
Thank you.
Lena,
Yes?
I have a question.